Good morning, everyone. My name is Annalise Shane, and I'm a technical field trainer with Vivotech. Today, we're going to go over Vivotech's smart motion detection and our VCA solution. We want you guys to have a better understanding of Vivotech's human-based motion detection and our deep learning VCA and how we've improved it. So if you have any questions, please email us at trainingna@vivotech.com. In today's presentation, I will go over smart motion detection, how Vivotech uses human detection as the backbone for our VCA technology, and how using these features can drastically reduce time spent searching through recorded video with our Smart Search 2 and Smart Search 2 Plus feature. So let's start off with smart motion detection. Smart motion detection is the answer to a better motion detection. Okay, a motion detection that gives users options. So if you're used to that conventional pixel-based motion detection and you'd rather use that, go ahead, no problem. Okay, but now you have a choice to switch to a human-based motion detection to reduce that crazy number of false alarms caused by swaying trees, dogs, insect, rain. Okay, it works in most any lighting condition, and then you can make changes to the time filter to reduce false alarms, and the configuration is very intuitive. So one of the great things about smart motion detection is how easy it is to set up. Okay, if you have the experience of configuring any type of VCA, then this list of parameters is going to be familiar to you. Okay, tilt, rotation, and height to create that 3D map. You have to decide the minimum and maximum object size so the engine knows what to detect. And then you need to know the sway object to avoid false alarms. Okay, but with Vivotech's cameras, you only need to input the height. Okay, that height information enables the horizontal and vertical keystone corrections of the field of view. Just measure the distance from the center of the camera lens to the ground. Okay, the reason you don't need to um, the reason you don't need to input the tilt and the rotation is due to the onboard G sensor. So, just like our phones have, there's an embedded G sensor that's going to detect the tilt and the rotation angle of that camera. Okay, now with the height information that you put in and the tilt and the rotation angle from the G sensor, a 3D map is created inside the camera. And then instead of leaving it to the user to configure the human perspective or human size at different distances, we can choose deep learning, okay? Deep learning the patterns of human perspective at different locations of field of view. Vivotech took advantage of its extensive experience in the surveillance field and those resulting vast image databases to develop a neural network powered detection engine for the human form. Okay, so based on these databases of human silhouettes and then rapid responses from a pre-trained deep learning model, the smart engine instantly recognizes the appearance of human forms in the surveillance area. So after hours and hours of video, this VCA algorithm can track humans that are in motion. This is called our human detection system. And then using another database of thousands of scenarios in day and night and various lighting conditions, the Smart Motion's deep learning algorithm comes with lighting models that can quickly adapt to the user's installation, okay? So take a look at this video, for instance. The lighting models in Smart Motion detection can deal with high contrast sunlit scenes, indoor lit or unlit environments, false alarms caused by vehicle headlights or other potential distractions. All of this means is that users do not need to fine tune the motion sensitivity for different application scenarios at different times of day. All right, so now that we can track human location, it's going to open up a diverse amount of applications. Okay, so let's talk about the other parts of Vivotech's deep learning technologies. We're going to go over 4 different technologies that have spawned from our being able to detect humans. So the smart motion detection that we just went over, We have Smart VCA, and those are advanced VCA rules that we'll go over here in a minute. And then Smart 360, these are VCA rules that work on our wide area surveillance or our fish eyes. Okay, and then Smart Tracking, which this is going to allow our PTZ cameras to track people in motion. So let's go over Smart VCA. With Smart VCA, there are more options on human-based VCA, such as intrusion detection, which can be used to detect persons entering or leaving a virtual area within that camera's field of view. Okay, so an example scenario of this would be like detecting when a person enters a normally forbidden area. So here's a video demonstrating this, and it's going to alert you with VAS2. So immediately you've been alerted, and then you can search for any of those tag clips. All right, next we have line crossing, and this is to detect whenever a person or a group of people cross a virtual tripwire. You just have to set it up, and then you'll choose what the walking direction, in or out, out or in, and then as soon as they walk across it, you'll be alerted. And then once again, you can easily search for this event. Loitering is another one, and this is used to detect a person or a group of people lingering in an area longer than a preset amount of time. Okay, so for example, detecting whenever a person is loitering in a high theft area in a store, or let's say at an ATM. So we've set this one up for as long as somebody is in that area for 5 seconds or longer, please alert me. And again, very easy to search for that video clip within VAS2. An object-based VCA, like missing objects, to detect the removal or of a predefined asset from a scene. Okay, so one scenario of this is to detect whenever theft occurs in storage areas, or say like a museum or something like that. Another object-based VCA is unattended objects. So it's going to detect unattended objects or objects left behind. Okay, so let's say like if you're detecting objects left in front of an emergency exit. And then another human-based VCA is face detection, to detect and track faces within the camera's field of view. Okay, so by tagging the video frames which contain facial features, the administrator can later search for these video clips that include faces in a more efficient manner. Okay, instead of searching through hours of recordings, face detection can now speed up the search in recorded videos. Please note that this is face detection, not facial recognition. Okay, which we do have a solution for that, for facial recognition solution. That's available with the cooperation with a third-party facial recognition software company, Cyberlink, and then it's the Cyberlink FaceMe. If you want more information on that, you can find that on our website. All right, and now we have Smart 360. This is the VCA rules that run on our VivoTech fisheyes. It's going to provide you the benefit of these VCA rules and the strength of the fisheye with wide VCA coverage. So there's 3 rules that we can create with this. We have intrusion detection. Okay, so once again, we went over this in a certain area. Anybody goes into those certain areas, then it will alert us. So non-human going into the area, no trigger, no alarm. But a human form going into the area, it will set off the alarm. Next is going to be crowd detection. This would be if you were to set up, let's say, like 5 people in a certain area, we want to know and be alerted. So that, let's say, we wanted to open up a new register or something. And then also we have the loitering detection as well. So you can know if somebody is, let's say, in front of those ATMs for 5 seconds or longer, whatever time that you've determined. And this one we've determined that we want to be notified if somebody lingers in an area for more than 10 seconds. Okay, and then finally we have smart tracking. So this is an innovative deep learning technology for our PTZ cameras, for our new PTZ cameras, that is designed to automatically track people in motion. So in smart tracking mode, cameras can detect a moving person and then track it until the person leaves that field of monitoring. So you'll notice we have a truck going through this area. It does not alert us. Okay, but whenever a person goes into this area, the camera is going to find them and zoom in on them and then follow them until they are out of the camera's point of view. Okay, in VAST 2.7 and above, you can configure live view and settings. Okay, you can configure the tracking mode and then check the tracking rules and status. For events, you can create events for VAST 2 with the smart tracking, and then we can search for any smart tracking events and pull those up as well within VAST 2.7 and up. All right, so one thing I want to show you is the difference between auto tracking and smart tracking. So here is a video of auto tracking working, right? So it sees a moving object and it follows it. Keep in mind that auto tracking is just following any object that is larger than the minimum size you designated whenever setting it up. Okay, it's pixel based for this one. And then here is going to be a demo of smart tracking. Okay, so once a human enters the SD9374's view, it's going to zoom in and then start following them while they're within that zone that you configured. This is going to give you that superior image quality. All right, so whenever it comes to our deep learning VCA, we're very proud of the number of VCA rules that we can run simultaneously on our camera due to the efficient computing. Okay, in a conventional VCA, each VCA rule will analyze its own pixel changes, and that takes up quite a bit of computing resources. Okay, in deep learning VCA, we choose to spend more time on computing power on the tracking of human location or our human detection system. Okay, so within the location of that human track, then all that is left is to draw up the rules. Okay, so the result is that our VCA rules only take a small portion of CPU loading, which means that more rules can be applied. So while we're proud of our human detection system and our VCA technology, we still wanted more. And it made us think, is there a way to make this even better? Yes. Yes, we can use that VCA context and playback. And then that's how Smart Search 2 and 2 Plus were born. So Smart Search 2 makes our VCA solution even better. The way conventional Smart Search works is by comparing the differences between frames to find the recording. Basically, it's an analytics process. Okay, Smart Search 2 makes searching through hours and hours of data up to 10 times faster than Smart Search 1. And it's faster because we're collecting metadata and searching for that instead of comparing frame by frame. So let me first start off by giving you a little explanation about what metadata is. Since the camera has constructed a 3D map, the location of humans in motion can be tracked as coordinates. So those coordinates are a type of metadata. Okay, by using that metadata and searching for that instead of comparing differences frame by frame, we can get results 10 times faster. So another thing is that we get even more efficient computing by just having to search for metadata instead of performing a frame by frame analytic comparison. Okay, there's a huge difference in the CPU loading whenever we're processing this information. Metadata consumes 93% less bandwidth compared to a video stream. So in other words, metadata is only 7% of the video stream. So if you needed to perform a search for a remote site, you shouldn't have bandwidth issues. I just want to show you here a side-by-side example of Smart Search 1 versus Smart Search 2 for an 18-hour period. If you notice, we're already at 491 results with that Smart Search 2, and we're about 37 on the Smart Search 1. So 17 seconds for Smart Search 2 to come up with 491 results, all with humans detected. Okay, so also I want you to take a look at the top where it shows the CPU load. So you'll notice Smart Search 1 is pegged out at 100%, while the Smart Search 2 is around 56. All right, and then now we have Smart Search 2 Plus, which is an even more powerful search tool and is provided with VAST 2.7 and up. You can now quickly sort through large amounts of recorded footage to find object or person-related motion. Okay, so you can quickly find evidence with matched VCA behaviors with that metadata search. So we can search not only by our smart motion, which is, remember, the detection of people motion or object motion in a defined area, but now we can also search based on human behaviors that such as line crossing, loitering, and intrusion. All of these are defined by the users after the fact that it's recorded. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you some videos showing you how to use the Smart Search 2 Plus, and then I want you to keep in mind that in order to use Smart Search 2 Plus, the camera requires all of the following capabilities, okay? It needs to have Smart Motion enabled. You need to have a firmware version above 113D, 117B, or 100I. And then also you have to have that licensed VCA package version 6.13A or later, okay? So you'll notice on the left menu, you have choices between smart motion, line crossing, loitering, and intrusion. And then for this example, we are going to choose line crossing. And then you'll notice that you can choose whether it's out to in to out, or both. We're going to set up our line and we can manipulate this however we need, moving the in to out however it needs to be. And then once we have that set up, we'll choose that we want to go out to in to out, or both ways. It doesn't matter which way they go across that line. So we'll choose the out and in, and then click search. Immediately we have 114 results. So anytime somebody walked across that line, it's going to pull up a result for that, and then we can easily play it back and export it. The next selection is loitering. So this is the detection of a person staying in a set area for a specified amount of time. For this demo, you'll see that we have outlined the area where we want to know if anyone loitered in it for 5 seconds or longer. Okay, then all we have to do is click search. And then once again, the results will display for whenever a human was loitering in that set area for that specified period of time. And then you could play the results in full screen and then easily export it from VAS2. And then the last selection we have is going to be intrusion detection. So this is to detect the intrusion into a zone or leaving from the zone. So after you select intrusion and set your area, you're going to choose the direction. So do we want to know if somebody's intruding into the zone or leaving from the zone? All right, then we click search, and once again, only the results where a human intruding into the zone um, will be results will show up for that, and then you can click on the result and view the recording, and then once again easily export it from there as well. And then finally, let's talk about licensing for our VCA solution. So you may already know that Smart Motion Detection and Smart VCA 360 and then smart tracking comes for free with certain cameras, right? There's no fee for Smart Search 2 either. So, but now we just started this not too long ago. Now, even our Supreme Series cameras provide you with those VCA licenses for free. So here's the list of the Smart Motion Detection and Smart VCA supported models with those free licenses. If you already have some of these cameras, you'll have to update the firmware and upload the deep learning VCA packages to get them going. Okay, and then also here's the list of the Smart Motion Detection and Smart VCA supported models. These cameras do not include the licenses for free, but you will be able to purchase the licenses. So just contact your sales rep for pricing. Once again, please note that after you purchase the licenses, then you'll have to update the firmware. You may have to update the firmware and then upload the deep learning VCA package. And then Vivotech does provide you with a 60-day trial for our smart VCA features. Okay, so if you have a camera that does not provide you with a free license, you can get a 60-day trial license by going over to license.vivotech.com. You'll have to fill in the required information and then a trial license will be provided. If you have any issues, you can contact Charles Chen. His contact information is available on that web page. But also please note that the 60-day free trial license is not available for the 89 series cameras or our mobile domes. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for our webinar on smart motion detection and smart VCA. So join us next week to go over how to set up these technologies within our cameras and VAS2. Okay, to see a list and register for any of our upcoming Vivotech Insider webinars, go to vivotech.com/VWA/insider-webinars. And if you guys missed a webinar or are wanting to view the recording at a later time, you can now find those recordings on our partner portal. So all you have to do is log into vivotech.channeltivity.com, navigate to the left folder that is going to be our Vivotech training folder, select folders, and then inside of there you can find training videos, corporate videos, and our webinars, and then more. And now it's time for our giveaway. For this webinar, we are giving away an exclusive Yeti Rambler to the winner. So all you have to do is answer 2 questions. So send your answers in from a valid company email address, and we will email you back if you're the winner. So question 1 is, name the 3 advanced VCA rules that run on compatible Vivotech fisheyes. And then question 2 is, what series cameras include free licenses for Vivotech's Smart VCA solution? So send in your answers to trainingna@vivotech.com, and I'll email you back if you're the winner. Thank you guys so much again for attending today's webinar. I hope to see you next week as we go over how to set up those smart motion detection and our VCA rules within our cameras and VAS2. Thank you.